We are all guilty of the occasional joke about foregoing sleep to pull an all-nighter, or the involuntary sacrifice of sleep because the day got away from us, or we just cannot unwind enough to relax into sleep. But does sleep deprivation really matter, or is it something that can be fixed with a couple of cups of strong coffee? This video takes a look at this underrated issue. If you struggle with weight loss or insulin resistance, or you feel like you are always hungry, it's time to look at sleep quality. There is a saying that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. The flip side of that is that you don't know what you're missing till you find it. Sleep is like that. It's one of the most glossed over aspects of healthy living because it's hard to connect the dots between how your body functions and how well you sleep at night. Poor sleep can leave you feeling tired throughout the day, but that is just the tip of the iceberg. It also increases your appetite for high-calorie comfort foods and contributes to insulin resistance, a factor that makes weight loss difficult and increases your risk of diabetes. In this video, I'll share common reasons for poor sleep quality and how they lead to these metabolic issues. I'm also going to introduce you to 8 Sleep, who is the sponsor of this video. It has absolutely improved my sleep quality, but it is an investment. So in addition, I will share solutions you can implement tonight for better sleep. The 8 Sleep pod cover fits right over your mattress and automatically changes temperature overnight to heat or cool your bed based on what gives you your best sleep. The thermal technology is water powered, so there is a tank you fill with water, which is what heats and cools the pod. That is a standout feature because if you've ever tried other cooling solutions like special pillows and mattresses, you often find that they feel cool when you first get into bed, but soon absorb your body heat, taking away the cooling benefit. Because 8 Sleep uses water to cool the pod cover, as your body gives off heat, it adjusts, keeping your body at the right temperature so you stay asleep. When you purchase the pod cover and activate the membership, the app actually tracks your heart rate and respiration rate and adjusts the temperature of your bed as needed during the night. And it's easy to customize and control the settings and review your individual statistics, including sleep stages, sleep time, and heart rate variability through the 8 Sleep app. I will say that we have been sleeping on it for the past month with great results and no hitches whatsoever, but you will need about 4 hours to set up the pod. Setup includes putting the cover over the mattress, connecting to Wi-Fi, and allowing time for the pod to go through its priming process. We did have a hitch during setup concerning our Wi-Fi. Now this issue may have been user error, aka our fault, because we had just changed our Wi-Fi service and had forgotten our new password. But 8 Sleep's customer service was fantastic. They had us up and running in minutes. So I know that technology can be intimidating. Just know that there are actual people behind 8 Sleep to help. If you'd like to try 8 Sleep for yourself, you can use my link, 8sleep.com/Dr. Becky, to get $200 off the pod cover, and I'll leave the link in the description or more area below this video. When it comes to sleep, there's quantity and quality. Both are important, but they're not the same. If you toss and turn in bed for 8 hours, you technically meet the requirement for sufficient sleep quantity, but achieve poor sleep quality. There are diagnosed sleep disorders such as insomnia, restless leg syndrome, and sleep apnea that require a consultation with your doctor. And stress and anxiety can make it difficult to fall asleep because your mind doesn't want to shut off. However, the most common reasons for poor sleep are an uncomfortable sleep environment and poor sleep habits. The first thing many of us think about in terms of sleep environment is the temperature of the room. Temperature is very much a Goldilocks and the 3 bears issue. Some like it hot, some cold, but for most of us, there's a just right temperature. And when you find your optimal sleep temperature, it can result in more deep sleep, fewer wake-ups, and more restorative rest. Your body follows a circadian rhythm that adjusts your internal temperature throughout the night. To sleep well, your body temperature must drop as you fall asleep and move into deep sleep. This is why most people find it easier to fall asleep in a colder room. The cool temperature helps your body cool down enough to reach that deep sleep level. While I found differing study results, the sweet spot for bedroom temperature seems to fall between 60 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That is, at least to fall asleep. But remember that circadian rhythm is the internal clock that helps you keep your wake-sleep cycles on track. So that rhythm is changing your body temperature all night long, lowering it to achieve deep sleep, and then raising it in the morning to help you wake up. The challenge, of course, is that most bedroom thermostats or beds don't automatically change to accommodate your body's temperature fluctuations. And if you sleep with a partner who likes the room warm and cozy, but you like it chilly, there's a conflict. A good approach is to set the bedroom temperature at 65 degrees Fahrenheit as a starting point. From there, you and your partner can adjust it up or down to find a common ground. If you have an 8-sleep pod cover, each person has control of their side of the bed, and it learns your individual temperature preferences, automatically adjusting the temp throughout the night to help you stay asleep. That leads to an amazing night's sleep. And I realize I'm saying that about a sponsor, but it is true. I am 56 years old and well past menopause. However, I still get mild hot flashes. I jokingly call them warm flashes because they're not as intense as they once were, but they were still interfering with my sleep. Every couple of hours, I would be tossing off the blankets and often get up to use the bathroom because I was awake anyway, so why not? Since sleeping on the 8-sleep pod cover, when a warm flash comes on, I often sleep through it. If I do feel it, I don't react. I know that my bed is cool and it will cool me, so I leave the blankets on and I no longer get up more than once a night to use the bathroom. So that has been my experience. If you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, 8-sleep is worth a look. Something that influences your body temperature as you prepare for sleep is the timing of your food intake. When you have food in your system, your body shuttles blood flow to your digestive tract. That increased activity elevates your core temperature, interfering with sleep. The solution is to stop eating 3 hours before bed and make your last meal of the day a light one so your body has time to complete digestion and cool down. During those evening hours, you can drink non-caloric beverages, but avoid those with caffeine, including coffee, diet soda, and energy drinks. The half-life of caffeine is about 6 hours, meaning that 6 hours after you consume it, half of the caffeine is still in your system. Therefore, it's best to limit caffeinated drinks to the morning hours so you can properly wind down at bedtime. As for exercising in the evening, light to moderate intensity exercise that is completed at least 1 hour before bed can help you sleep. That would include things like yoga, stretching, walking, and light weightlifting or light aerobic exercise such as swimming or biking. But intense exercise like interval training, running, or heavy weightlifting can overstimulate your nervous system and raise your heart rate and body temperature too much, interfering with sleep. Therefore, if the evening hours are the best time for you to exercise, aim to complete light workouts at least 1 hour before bed and intense workouts at least 3 hours before you go to sleep. Excess light coming in from streetlights or sunlight can disrupt sleep, as can blue light, which is light emitted from the screen of your smartphone, tablet, and computer. Blue light has shorter wavelengths and higher energy than other colors, and exposure to it, especially right before bed, can disrupt the circadian rhythm, making it hard to fall asleep and get restful sleep. To solve the problem of lighting, think of your bedroom as a cave, making it as dark as possible by closing window blinds or curtains. Also, avoid electronic screens at least 1 hour before bed. There are relatively inexpensive glasses that block blue light. You can pick them up online or in stores. These blue light blocking glasses do work. For best results, wear them 3 hours before going to bed. Noise from outside traffic or inside noise from music, television, or buzzing or beeping gadgets can interfere with sleep. To overcome this obstacle, eliminate background noise as much as possible. If it is out of your control, use a fan, white noise machine, or sleep meditation to drown out the sound and help you relax from a stressful day. There are inexpensive white noise machines that you can buy or online recordings that provide soothing sounds to fall asleep to. If you have 8-sleep, these resources are provided through the app. You can train your body for better sleep by maintaining a consistent sleep schedule. This study showed that shorter sleep duration and greater sleep variability are associated with increased body mass index. To improve sleep quality, develop a sleep routine by going to bed and waking up on a consistent schedule that does not vary more than 30 minutes day to day. You also want to stay in bed long enough. The definition of long enough varies depending on your source, with some defining short sleep as under 5 hours and others under 7. So from a quantity standpoint, aim for at least 7 hours of sleep. Doing these things strengthens your circadian rhythm, and to further reinforce this natural rhythm, it's beneficial to fall asleep within 30 minutes of crawling in bed. So it pays to go to bed tired. A good way to ensure that is to avoid daytime napping or limit naps to no more than 20 minutes. Now, the studies on sleep duration and variability could not create a direct association between inconsistent sleep patterns and a higher body mass index. However, it is one more supportive finding showing that sleep quality matters to your metabolism. What is clear when we look at poor sleep and weight gain is that sleep deprivation increases your appetite and promotes overeating. One study on sleep-deprived individuals used functional MRI scans to monitor changes in areas of the brain that drive our appetite and help us evaluate what we want to eat. They focused on the amygdala, which is a small part of your brain that processes emotions like anger, fear, and sadness, and also strongly governs your motivation to eat. They found that the activity within the amygdala is elevated following sleep loss. They also found less activity in cortical regions of the brain that help us properly evaluate our need for food, lowering our inhibition to just eat. And what did we want to eat when we are sleep deprived? The study authors reported that sleep deprivation resulted in a significant increase in the proportion of wanted food items carrying high caloric content. In contrast, no corresponding differences between the sleep-rested and deprived states were observed for low-calorie items. In other words, study participants weren't craving carrots, they wanted carrot cake. And they ate the comfort foods they wanted. In the sleep-deprived condition, the participants ate an average of 600 additional calories. So it's easy to see how the desire to eat more comfort foods when we are sleep deprived is linked to weight gain. But the picture gets bigger when we take a broader look at metabolism, specifically glucose or blood sugar regulation. Studies have looked at the cascade of negative consequences that occur as a result of sleep loss. Altered glucose metabolism is a broad term that encompasses insulin resistance, where your cells resist insulin's attempt to drop off glucose. This resistance keeps blood sugar and insulin levels high, making it hard to lose fat and increasing your risk of diabetes. Considering how many people have trouble losing weight, the prevalence of diabetes and insulin resistance, and the fact that around 30% of adults report sleeping less than 6 hours per night, it's clear that sleep quality matters. To improve your sleep, limit caffeine consumption to the morning hours and avoid eating 3 hours before bed. Also, avoid intense exercise at least 3 hours before bed and work on developing a consistent sleep schedule where you get into and out of bed at similar times each day. And importantly, work on making your bedroom environment conducive to sleeping by covering windows, limiting computer and phone screen usage, using soothing sounds to block environmental noise, and dialing in the right temperature for high-quality sleep. Set your bedroom temperature between 60 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit and consider getting an 8-sleep pod cover. It learns your ideal thermal environment on each side of the bed and automatically makes temperature adjustments throughout the night to optimize your sleep. If you'd like to try 8Sleep for yourself, you can use my link 8sleep.com/Dr. Becky to get $200 off the pod cover. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.